Hello, I'm Joe Scaife. I'm the Head of Audit here at Bishop Fleming. Today I'm going to be talking to my colleague Sally Timmins, who is the author of the governance section on the Academies benchmark report. So Sally, how important today is effective governance?
Well, it's crucial, Joe. The last few years have really shown how important it is for trusts to have a really solid framework of control and understanding how they run their trusts, and to actually understand and know that what they think is happening really is. And that's what governance is. It's that framework to allow and facilitate accountability at different levels, to allow the board to actually really effectively make good and strong decisions.
And that's presumably been more challenging in the year that we've just been looking at in the benchmark report.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. The last 2 years have been horrific in so many different ways, and boards have really had to almost function in many cases on a just need to do basis rather than the much wider aspects of governance that they would normally be looking at. So to have that framework is fantastic. We need to really look at that framework, make sure it's the right structure. Obviously things and needs have changed significantly over the last couple of years. And as we come out of that situation, really looking to the future and see what next is really, really important.
And has this been the same with multi-academy trusts as with single academy trusts, or have you found a variation between the two different sizes of entity?
Multi-academy trusts seem much more, the structures facilitate different types of decisions. It's much more strategic and much higher level because of course they're looking at all the schools within the trust. Single academy trusts have struggled. Certainly it shows in the report how both financially and strategically it's been much more difficult for single academy trusts to have all the information, absorb that information and have the capacity to deal with the rapid change. So it's been much easier for multi-academy trusts to deal because they've got a greater capacity within that central function and within that leadership.
Okay. Is there anything that single academy trusts could be doing better? Is there one particular piece of advice you might be able to give them that would help them along?
It's about collaboration, really. The various forms of collaboration and sharing that practice so that they can learn, not try and reinvent the wheel, not try and do everything themselves. Single academy trusts have challenges in that area, and of course, as they look towards their strategic goals and improving those educational outcomes and financial efficiencies, it's much more difficult as an alone position. So collaboration really is the way to look forward. It doesn't have to be immediately a formalised collaboration. There's all sorts of different routes, but actually just trying to do everything as a standalone on their own is very, very challenging.
Okay, and if we're rolling forward looking at the next 12 months before we get to the next Academies benchmark report, what are the sort of changes that you think you might see happening in the sector on governance?
I think that governance has to really become back to a position of covering everything. We haven't been in that position so far, and as we look forward and that move from virtual meetings, and although virtual meetings significantly have advantages for inclusion, that allows much more diverse of opinion if people can't physically get to the location, and perhaps a hybrid between virtual meetings and physical meetings, but actually developing that and developing the strategy going forward to look at what challenges are we facing as a board, what is our trust facing, how are we going to get over those hurdles, and actually revisiting their strategy to take a fresh look and go into all those new decisions that they're looking at, including climate, sustainability and climate change, and what part they're going to be playing within that has to be really, really important. Mental health and well-being is a real challenge. It has been an enormous challenge for trusts over the last couple of years. And of course, looking forward, that has to be a massive focus. And climate change can contribute towards that because we are aware that young people have a huge degree of anxiety in some cases towards climate change and actually the inertia of leadership to address it. So whilst it's a part of the package, it is something that boards really do need to focus on.
Great, okay. Well, thank you very much for that insight, Sally. Just like to thank Sally for her time there. And if you have any questions on this, when you've looked at the benchmark report, then please do contact your usual advisor.